Okay, welcome back to another one take, this time on the Khabarovsk. And, well, this one might not go so well, because I haven't played this ship in a very, very long time. And in fact, I only have a 19-point commander on this one, which used to be enough, but now is not. So, the build I'm running to start with, I do want to try and use a little bit of concealment and see how that goes. I am running Survivability Expert as well as Superintendent, trying to get the most out of the healing and the HP of the Khaba, since we are not quite as fast and not quite as maneuverable as the Khaba, so we are relying a little bit extra on that health and healing advantage we have over a Khaba. Of course, the Khaba. In the Khaba, of course, you do have the faster reloading guns compared to Khaba, but, well, you don't get that reload booster, and you don't get the range, so we're only rocking a 13.5 kilometer range, even with the extra range on the commander. So we'll see how this goes. It's possible and likely that next game we will drop Concealment Expert and pick up something like Fearless Brawler. Go for more of a gun build. I think you do really, really want that range. Of course, I don't have the legendary upgrade here at all. So this would give you extra range. I think it's around 14.6 kilometers, makes the Khaba much more comfortable to play at tier 10, since 13.5 kilometers is pretty small amount of range. No double steering gears as well. I'm running concealment at the moment. We'll see how that goes, but the thought process, at least, behind that is the difference between your detectability range and your main battery firing range kind of results in how comfortable a ship to play is. So the more distance you have between these two values, it's just easier to play. You're spotted less of the time, you have more room to push in before you get spotted and then start shooting, that kind of thing. So with that said, let's jump into it. I think with the Khaba, you also want to be running a lot of flags. So I am running a bunch of fire flags, healing, no detonation, faster consumable reload, pretty much all of the usual flags you would see on a gunboat with a heal. And that's mainly because the Khaba is not as good as the Khaba is. I've been comparing it a lot to that ship, but Khaba really just does everything better than the Khaba, pretty much. There's a few things like the 50mm plating that's really nice, and the healing, but for most matches, I think I'd just rather play a Khaba. I think it's just more useful. Having that 16 kilometers range is really, really, really nice to have. So in this one, we are facing against a carrier. That is something the Khaba does not do very well against either, since we don't even have a smoke screen. We're running the heal consumable at the moment, so we'll see how this goes. We're playing against a Russian test carrier, so I think those are single strike, but massive alpha damage. Kind of an odd design, considering that's what they were trying to get away from with the original carriers. If anybody remembers the RTS ones, they were along the same lines of single strike with huge alpha damage. And I think that was part of the reason for a rework, and now they're going back to it. So that is interesting. We'll just say that. But we're going to try and do the best we can against that. Other than that, honestly, the DDs don't look too bad to face. Khaba is pretty solid in a DD fight, especially if you're able to maintain a level of distance. This rudder shift, of course, feels horrible compared to a lot of DDs out there. But are we just going to get griefed? What do you think? I think we're going to get griefed this game by the carrier. Oh, no. No, he's going to spot us. 3.2, 3.3, 3.2. There it is. Damn, that sucks. So now he's just going to come in after us. So with these kind of dive bomber, skip bomber things, they hit you really, really hard. And they light fires all the time. And they're kind of overpowered. It's just unavoidable damage. There's not really much you can do about it. And as a Khaba, you really do struggle against carriers. And since I haven't really played against these test carriers, I don't really know how to play against them well and do a decent job. So I'm probably going to die to this guy. It's more than likely I'm going to die to this guy. Yeah, he's just coming back over and over and over again. So welcome to World of Warships in 2021, where the game is really not that fun to play. We're just going to try and run back to our NC and hope he can provide some protection for us. These look like, what, dive bombers? So we want to be as cross as possible. You really hate to see it. It's a tier 8 carrier, by the way. Tier 8, guys. That's tier 8. Imagine what a tier 10 is going to be able to do. So we're already down, what, 8,000 HP? Or near enough. So a pretty fun experience, I would say, to start with. Definitely a good time. I don't know how to keep this positive, guys. I'm sorry. These one takes are usually meant to show you how to play the ship, and I want to show you like a normal game of me playing, but it's so hard for me to not just Alt F4 here and quit playing for the day. This sucks, man. This is one of the worst experiences you can possibly have in World of Warships. Like, I would way rather play anything else other than this game right now. That's really how I'm feeling. So, at least we're next to our NC. Hopefully he can provide us a little bit of AA support. And, well, this Tirpitz is pushing in, but he's going to die to the Azashio Torps, I'm very sure. But you can see how good the arcs are, at least right now, on the shells. We even killed the torpedo tubes on this poor Tirpitz. But the arcs are nice. The fire chance is usually pretty solid. And something you do get that not a lot of DDs get is that 50mm plate. So if this guy decides to shoot me, we'll see. But it might result in him bouncing off of us. We're also reversing. Speed boost ran out, so we're not going to do an amazing job of dodging, but alright. And still not getting those fires. I would have thought we would have got some by now. That's usually the Khaba's thing, is fire, 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 right? Yeah, there you go. And we got ourselves a Harugamo. Take a shot at him. One of the real big bonuses of playing a Khaba is the alpha damage of these shells, right? So you get that nice shell velocity, decent reload, but you hit people really hard. You get that 1900 alpha. So in DD fights, you really do mess people up. I've seen 4 or 5k HE salvos some of the time, so it's pretty impressive what this ship is capable of still. But a rough game to start with. The enemy team has all the caps. We've lost 2 ships already, Wooster and Akitakaze. Those are 2 crucial ships. And you can see our Ibuki's down too. So this one's not going our way. So it's time to use a heal, even though it's not a full heal. We need to get through them, right? We need to get through them as much as we possibly can. I'm going to try and push in and help this Azashio. Maybe we can get some of these close range torpedoes off on a battleship, but yeah, these are not very good torpedoes, mainly just because they're so slow. They hit really hard, but they're very, very slow. Boy. I don't know what to do here, guys. I think this is just a loss. Right? This is just a loss. There's nothing we can do against the carrier, who's coming back in. And yeah, our team is just kind of done. So this is what happens. A lot of the time, there's a lot of blowouts, I would say. Blowouts are really common these days. So we're going to push in and try and get to this island and just hope to get some yellow torps off on the Pommern or the Iowa, something like that. But other than that, it's just kind of just GG, I gotta say, which is sad. It's really sad. I like close games, as you guys know, but this was not that. Our NC is going to take some serious pain here. Alright, there is a Shimakaze. We are bow into him, so a little unfortunate there. But hey, we're in a position to torpedo if, you know, somebody does come around this corner. I don't know if they will, but it seems like they might. I'm not doing a great job of leading this guy. But there we go, there's a good hit. Here comes the skip bombers again. Oh boy, here they come. Alright, so our Azashio detonated and Iowa killed the NC, so we are in a bit of a tough spot here. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think this one's just game over. Oh, we dodged. Insane. We actually dodged. Let's just rush the Shima down and hope. Oh, this guy's just here. Yeah, see? The carrier, if he decides to come after you and you're in Khaba, there's nothing you can do. It's just game over. Try and get these torpedoes off, but I don't think this is looking so great for us. Come on, where are you at? Yeah, it's just game over. Sorry guys, that was a really bad game. But I guess that'll give you a great example of what the Khaba is like in 2021. Sometimes I hate this game, and sometimes this game is so bad to play. So with the results of that battle over with, let's see what happened here. 27,000 damage, that's pretty good. I gotta say, that's a pretty good result. And we were 4th on our team. Alright, not very good result right there. So, I don't know what else to say about that, but that just sucks to play. I gotta say, that's just not very fun at all. Wow, we even killed 17 planes, and it just didn't matter. You had full squads the entire time. That sucks. But what are you gonna do? Infinite planes, infinite damage, and it's just impossible to avoid if the carrier decides to go after you. So that's a real look at the Khaba in 2021. It sucks, guys. It really sucks. Don't play this ship. It really don't play this ship. I'm sorry this is kind of a depressing video at this point, but I can't just fake being happy about that, all right? I don't want to do that. So we'll see if this next game goes any better, but Khaba can be fun. I'm sure of it. It used to be a lot of fun. And anytime there's no carrier in your game, there's potential for fun. But as soon as this class gets in your game, it's just instantly game over for fun. If you're trying to have a good time, you got to go somewhere else. And I really do wish there was a little toggle to never face aircraft carriers. I'd even buy it, dude. I would spend like, I don't know what the price would be, but if it was a monthly cost to have a toggle in game that said you'll never face carriers, I would do it in a heartbeat. It would just make this game so much more playable, a much more enjoyable experience actually fighting against surface ships rather than aircraft the entire time. So that's what we get here. Let's not waste our opportunity. This is like a 1 in 3, 1 in 4, you know. I'd say about a quarter of the time you can have fun in this game, you know. So how do we play it? How do we play it? I think since we're the only ones who spawned at A, we have to stay here. A is not a bad spot for us. I think it's a little more open than C, at least on the 1 line here compared to the 10 line. So it's a pretty good spot to go to. And we'll try and spot. We'll try and burn down some battleships because let's be honest, the Khaba's role is burning down battleships. And probably some long-range artillery support for DDs, but if you're just playing solo and you're not divved with someone, you're probably just trying to burn down battleships, and it's pretty good at that. Assuming the battleships push in, because your 13.5 kilometer range is not very good for that at all. And you're going to struggle some of the time to get even in range of people. And since it's an all tier 10 game, you can assume that people will play at the back. And let me be very clear that I don't blame battleship players for playing at the back. I think you're an idiot if you're just raging at battleship players for camping at the back of the map. That's just dumb. It's Wargaming's fault, right? Like, the reason they're camping at the back is because everything in the game is designed to kill them if they push in. That is the goal of the Khaba. That is the goal of the Holland. That is the goal of the Shimakaze. Daring is more of a DD hunter, I guess we'll say. But Stalingrad hunts cruisers and battleships. Worcester, burn down battleships. Des Moines, burn down battleships. All 3 of these just kind of burn everything to the ground. And other battleships are also looking to deal damage to battleships, right? So it's not a very friendly place if you're trying to push in your battleship. We may as well try and get ourselves a cap here real quick. It's possible they just don't go for it. You know, if the Elbing or something like that spawned on this flank, we might be able to snag it off of them. But if that's not the case, yeah, there's something here. we're just going to kite away to the corner. You'll notice that I'm not just instantly pulling out from this island. I'm getting myself a better angle so that I'm not just flat broadside coming out of here. I'm more angled away and I'm already running away. So we don't have a lot of support here, as you can see on the minimap. So I think it's important that we just run and save ourselves some HP. Dump some torpedoes. Somebody is within 7.9 of us, and now they're not. So they're just sitting here on this corner. Not a big deal. We should expect torpedoes to come through here very soon because the Thunder is here and likely spotted, right? So we need to be aware of that. And there's really not much I can do here until we know what's around, because there could be a very powerful ship, you know, like a cruiser or maybe a battleship that close. Unlikely, but probably a cruiser could be that close. The Des Moines has not been spotted yet, and that is a very common position to go to. And in fact, there he is right there. So very good decision to leave when we did. You never want to push in until you know exactly what's around, right? I should probably just stop and maybe reverse. Maybe spotting this Des Moines for our Thunder would be a good idea. You can see the Kurfürst is at the back already, so, and the Vermont is on his way as well. So it is pretty common, I would say, at this point for this to be the situation as a Khaba. You're kind of useless a lot of the time, even in matches where you're not getting griefed by an aircraft carrier. I'm gonna back in, not to overexpose myself, right? If we go bow in with this horrible rudder shift and turning radius, we're just probably gonna eat too much damage. So reversing in like this, not a bad idea. Of course, AP on cruiser broadsides can be pretty spicy. So let's take a little bit advantage of that and then swap back because he's gonna be angled. And am I the one spotting? Okay, he shot, so he'll stay spotted. Keeping the HE pressure in. At this angle, we'll probably just bounce, so there's not much point in using it. I'm trying to aim for the superstructure. It is harder to hit on cruisers, that's for sure, but it's still doable with a ship like this. Ooh, the Kurfürst wants to shoot at us. And you're going to see that we're still lit here, so there is something else around. There's something in here that is still lighting us. And then we went dark, so it's got to be behind one of these islands. That's what's been lighting us up here. I'm really scared of torpedoes maybe on this angle. Yeah, there they are. So whose torpedoes are those, do we think? It's one set of 5. Holland, maybe? I don't know if they were fast enough for Holland, but it could be a Holland. But gearing, still on the table for sure as well. Oh, it has to be gearing, now that I look at the minimap. It has to be gearing because the Holland is on the other side. Ooh, can we light this guy up? He is within our range. Try and get some HE pressure into him. Oh, I'm doing a poor job of driving my ship here. Our concealment should reset, and then we'll get to a better angle. This Monty's pushing in, so we're supported a bit, so I'm okay with staying here, kind of. I'm a little nervous still, I will say. See that? 3,000 damage into the superstructure. Pretty good. He's gonna shoot at us anyway, even though we're gonna get behind this rock. That's alright. I respect it. You know what? I respect that. He is wanting to kill destroyers, and that is not something you always see in a battleship player. So I can respect that. Up to 21,000 damage. And gearing is here. So we should actually just crush this guy. Assuming no outside help, we just kind of win. He should be stopping in his smoke, but he's just not, so take advantage of that by killing him, hopefully. Can we get maybe one more blind shot? It's a fire. There's the torpedoes. Oh, the fire got him. Very good. So now we can reverse into this cap and feel reasonably comfortable. There is an Elbing in this smoke. We did notice the Des Moines shooting at us. See, the Khaba is pretty nuts at close range against some of these destroyers. The damage output is no joke. But again, you have to pick your fights intelligently. And you do have to get lucky. That is the other thing. You gotta get pretty lucky on your matchmaker. So our team is pretty strong at sea. Our Shim is overcommitting at the moment, so he might go down. And then we might just lose that whole flank. So we definitely need to pick this cap up. The Curve first is probably just gonna run along this line here. That's what I would expect. So we'll try and help our daring as much as possible. He might die to the Des Moines. I'm just trying to see where the best possible spot for me to go is after we get this cap. And I think it's probably to back up the daring. That's probably our best bet. The Curve first is likely just going to turn out as soon as he gets a little bit of pressure from us. So we'll head over to the daring, especially if this Des Moines wants to push. Because he'll definitely need some help. Oh, the daring left the cap, or the island, sorry. That means that he might go down to the radar, which would be a little bit unfortunate. So, yeah, with the Elbing there like that, maybe we will just farm this GK. Yeah, why don't we farm a GK? That'll make me feel better. Since, actually, maybe we help kill this Des Moines? I'm not sure how he's still alive. That I am not sure of. I would have thought our Thunder would have just nuked him, but apparently not. Okay, there it is. The Thunder did just nuke him. It's too bad our daring died there, but the Des Moines overcommitted to get him, so let's help on this Elbing and then turn north to hopefully go kill this Curve first. Maybe save a little bit of damage. Is he slow? Okay, well he's definitely slow now. I'm also turning in not only to head north to kill the GK, but also to hopefully avoid his shells, since we know he's pretty happy with shooting DDs. So, something to keep aware of. The nice thing, of course, now playing Khaba these days is that you don't have to deal with battleship full pens. It's a huge bonus. 12.5 is what we have to stay out of. We don't want to get into his secondary range. 0.6, there it is. And now we hope for fires. That's pretty much how it goes. And do we out-accelerate this? Yeah, we do. Nice. So now he's got around, what, a 30-second reload? So we're pretty golden right now. And even though we're in secondary range, we'll leave it soon enough. Oh, he's not even targeting us with his secondaries. Nice. He's probably got his shot up very soon, so we'll just slow down and see what happens. See where he shoots. Can he predict the full stop reverse? Because we have speed boost up, we should be okay with that. Yeah. This is, of course, where this ship excels. You can deal with battleships very, very easily in this thing. They're not much threat to you at all. And so this GK, with good reason, is in his spawn. And now it's a blowout from the other side by the looks of things. It wasn't even really that close. They only really had the caps, but they overcommitted to get them. So, not the best quality of games, but I mean, I think that's a real look at the Khabarovsk and the state of the World of Warships game. You know, it's a lot of blowouts, it's a lot of unfun game mechanics, and a lot of loot boxes. If we were to go look in the armory right now, there's a lot of loot boxes in there. So, not the best state of a game to play. And I wouldn't blame you for trying to find a new game. In fact, myself, I'm trying to find a different game to play. But we'll still play World of Warships, don't worry. I'm still gonna make content on this game, but it's hard to stay positive with days like this, you know? I've played, what, 2 games today, and neither of them were particularly interesting. First one was pretty frustrating. Second one was, well, a blowout, but we won. So I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. I would love to tell you and show you good, cool situations where Khaba can do well and where it excels and how you can put yourself in favorable positions by showing games like that, but that is just not the case with this one. We're on quite a few hits at this point with no fire, so as you can see, if the battleship player gets lucky, he just won't really take much damage out of fires from you. I don't know how he does it or what he's got on his ship, but I would love to have whatever he's got, because we're approaching 100 hits here quickly without a single fire on him. So that's pretty unlucky, I gotta say. That's pretty unlucky. If you also want to see a... Oh, there we go. You see, you just gotta complain about it. If you go back and look at the video where I just talked about the camping meta, I was playing Colbert, and we ended up with around a 2% fire chance, I believe. Maybe it was a little less than that, but accounting for hitting already on fire parts of ships, I think it was around a 2% fire chance in the Colbert, which, as many of you know, should be a little higher than that. So you are kind of at the mercy of fire RNG a lot of the times in these ships. Secondaries are getting a little more accurate, but we do have that 50mm plating, and there we go, the shimmer kills him. 100k. See, we can farm battleships really easily. We hardly lost any HP to this Kurfürst. So that's for the Khaba. You farm battleships and suffer anytime there's a carrier. That is, I guess, describing a lot of destroyers in the current meta, just because Wargaming refuses to nerf carriers in line. And I don't know why they do this, but if I had to guess, it would be a financial decision. Something about sinking too much time and money into the rework so that it has to go forward. The whole sunk cost fallacy. So there you go. Another boring blowout. At least this time we didn't get griefed. So that's the Khaba. Let me know if you've been playing this ship, or maybe I've been doing it wrong. Maybe I could have played a little better these two games, but I don't really know. I haven't played the ship in a long time, and after this video, I'm probably not going to play it for a long time again, because that was not a very enjoyable experience. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.